This is how you defend Dorado with RAMATTRA. Hey, what's up everyone? AceOFSpades here, top 10 tank and former contenders player. So, Dorado, kind of a hard map that a lot of people don't know how to defend on, since there's, high ground, low ground, which spots do you hold on to. So, we're going to go ahead and talk about RAMATTRA and give you a few pointers on spots to where to engage from, how to engage, and all that type of stuff. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So, first point defense with RAMATTRA. Two spots that you can think about engaging from, or starting from, I should say, is this one is probably one of the most ideal starting spots that everyone goes for. And the reasons for this is because since you have your shield, you can shield off your DPS and your supports to peek, do damage. You have your left click that doesn't have any fall off damage. So you can go ahead and shoot them from here. Stop any engages that are going to be coming up to you. The other starting spot is right here. You can start here, spam out a little bit, but you're going to want to try and get to your team as fast as possible, since from here you do leave your team open for an engage. They'll probably end up happening if you leave them unguarded. So unless you see like a DPS and a healer walk across, then you can by all means come over here and try and stop them from taking this space for free. But if they don't do that, then just playing up top right is a solid engage point. If you do have like a Mei and you want to do, like a brawly rush comp, then holding on the down here is ideal. But if you're doing like, double sniper, Cass, Genji, Tracer, something like that, this is not the most ideal spot to start with. And the reason is they'll just push on, rush you, kill you, and you don't really have much escape routes. So the only time you want to be committed to doing a push at the bottom here is if you have like, the Mei wall comp, rush comp, wherever your whole team is going to be together and your whole team is committed to doing the close hold. So only do there with that comp. If not, then, just play up top. And yeah, so after you take your first fight from top, go ahead and rotate to this corner. I'm a huge fan of this corner, and the reasoning is because one of your supports can either be playing up in the window, which a lot of Anas and stuff like that like to play, just because it forces them to, they're safe from like a tracer engage or something like that, and forces if like they're on a Winston or something, they have to try and jump through that tiny window or jump here, which if they jump back here, then they can just drop down to your teammates and be safe. So this place kind of works out because it can be in LOS. All you do is back up a little bit, and you'll be fine. The other thing is that you have all this extra cover. So for them to kill you, they have to push out far and then do an engage. You can still contest high ground. So yeah, I think this place is probably the next best spot you want to try and take an engage from. Because if you play here, then once you get dove on, ideally you have to run all the way back, and it's not a very good spot for your supports to be in like tight corridors. They want to be out in pretty good like open spaces for good like line of sight. So you can go ahead and do that. I'd say after the card is coming through here, you take this fight. After you like disengage, so the fight's coming down, or let's say like you lost like the first engage and you're recontesting, then I would say you can, once you get to take this spot first, you can test right side, left side, and then you can push up to playing this little scooter type thing. I think this is the next best spot after you lost the first fight. So that is probably the spot you want to be in. If you don't have the luxury of getting to that on the second fight, then you'll probably end up being like, let's see, probably recontesting from here or probably from down here. Yeah, probably play this corner. You'll be able to contest cart, get an LS of your healers. Try not to be out in the open as RAMATTRA, since with RAMATTRA you're gonna want to engage onto, you have pretty good tank bursting power, but you also want to be in a position to where you can counter dive for your team as well. You're going to be playing like that nice middle ground, unless you see like an Ana or a Cass out in the open. Then it's like, dude, F on, man, get on them and start going to town with the punches. But yeah, so pretty easy. Just think about like, like the corners and engage spots with RAMATTRA. But that kind of goes over first point pretty easily. Second point, a little bit more tricky, since a lot of the times when you lose first point, you're going to not be able to get like a recontest, not have that luxury. So when you come out, you're going to probably be up on high ground. Never really a good spot to go left side, just because you don't really have very good sight lines. The cart's not going to go that way, so you're just getting a free cart push. So never be on the left side. Always take this high ground first. But what a lot of people don't do right here is they never drop down and get an engage, right? So what I see a lot is they just stay up here like, oh yeah, let me just shoot them pebbles. Yep, just shooting them. Yep, doing this. And then the only time they actually drop down and engage is when they have to go here to contest the cart. And then you just give up all that extra cart push for no reason, no good reason whatsoever. So what you're going to want to do is, when you're on the RAMATTRA and after you lose first point, let's walk over there slowly, is when the card pushes up, you're going to want to look for an engage onto one of like either like the Ana, either the Cass. Honestly, you can even go for the RAMATTRA too, depending on, what like their comp or whatever tank comp they have. But you're going to want to try and take an engage at this corner, and you can just look at the marker for like, it's a good little general rule of thumb. Because if you take an engage here, you can get another engage by the time the cart, reaches here. So you can, just like first point, first point, bang, take a fight here. If you end up losing it, then you can still have time to walk out, go high ground, and take another fight here. So there's really zero downside to taking a fight that early. Just make sure, you wait for the healers to walk out, see them, you drop down, engage, and let's say you win the fight. Hopefully you win the fight. Then you can just go ahead and play, this corner, hold them close, and do this till you lose the fight. So, yeah. That you want to be looking for, at least on like the first fight onto second point of Dorado. So let's go ahead and talk about now. So let's say you lost that first fight. You're going on to the second fight, so cart's probably going to be under this bridge now. Oh, just like first, you want to be up top here, shooting as they come through, and then once you see some of the squishies, so when the cart's pushing this way, you have enough time to be able to take the fight and then get back to point. So because one of your supports are going to be up top here, so you always want to be looking to get an engage onto some of the squishies, kill those squishy targets, and then going ahead and going for the tank most of the time, unless the tank just like is out in the open, overextending, feeding, then you can just kill him first. But how you're going to want to do this is once the cart's here, you can look for an engage onto the squishies that are down here, take the fight, kill them, and then be good to go. The only thing you have to be careful for is when taking a fight here, you will be out of LOS of your healers. So make sure either you're communicating that you're going to look for an engage, or, you know, play out in the open to where if your healer's here can heal you, if yours here, they can still see you for like a nade heals, stuff like that, for not dropping with you to get that engage. So make sure you're communicating that. Then let's say you need to contest when the card's here. This side, pretty ideal, probably one of the best because it has a pretty deep corner. So for them to push here and like turn the angle to actually kill you is pretty deep. You can't contest from here, so you actually have to, you know, walk out a little bit, but you can always, you know, come back and be in a deep corner for like your healers to heal you safe, and then, you know, you're going back out and, you know, contesting the payload and stuff like that. So this corner probably the most ideal when you have to contest on the end of second. Never really a time where you're gonna be up there as RAMATTRA, since only like a DPS or something is going to be up there, and your main job is to be able to get on squishies and contest like the payload and stuff like that. So never really worry about going top left. But let's try and get on into this, get over with fast. Third point, as RAMATTRA, kind of like the same thing as second. Always starting up top is ideal, and then once you're seeing where they want to engage from, then you can, you know, drop down and get a good fight. So if they were trying to come top left, this is probably, I don't think they'll ever come top left against RAMATTRA, and the reason is, you know, your punches hit multiple targets, so this is just a free just feeding ground for a RAMATTRA. So most of the time they'll probably go main here, force you have to drop down, and then on the second fight or something, they might, you know, go top left and try and force you out. But at that point, then be playing this corner. You'll be playing this corner. So never really want to be playing out in the open or here as RAMATTRA if they are pushing through top. So always think about, okay, where can I hide a little bit and take less damage if I do need to get healed? So, you know, you'd be here getting pocketed, but yeah. Always think about like these little deep corners that lets you be able to still contest people as they're coming through. Because if RAMATTRA sees you, he's probably going to stand here and hit you. And if he goes out top, then the rest of the people, you can still be contesting them and not taking that much damage, because you can just be like, bang, shoot, bang, bang. You know, you're not taking like a ton of damage just by standing out in the open like that. So think about that. Let's say, you know, cart's pushing up, you lost that fight. You need to try and contest. So if the card is maybe, you know, just coming around, you know, that corner, coming to take top is what you'd want to do. A lot of the times people will just wait here main and try and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna contest from here, right? So the problem with just running here and contesting is that, oh, where are you gonna go, man? Where are you gonna go? Oh, are you gonna turn around? Oh, you're gonna just hide in this tiny little corner and then just be dead because you have nowhere else to hide? Yeah. Do not make this mistake where if the cards, you have to recontest and you're one of the first ones out, that you're just gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna come here and have nowhere to go. So second fight, you lost that. You still have plenty of time because the card be like right there. If, of course, if the card is like in your spawn, right, then you have to walk out and try and play the corner. But most of the time after the first fight, the card's there. You want to try and recontest this high ground here. And the reason for that is because you'll be able to take a nice, you know, 5v4, because one person's going to have to be on the cards, right? You can force them off of high ground. The card will end up being, you know, right here-ish. Then it gives you a good spot for your healers to be safe. You can then drop down, get engaged onto the tanks, healers, stuff like that. So second fight on third, always try and prioritize taking the top high ground back and then getting engaged. And then, you know, after that happens, hopefully you win the fights, then, you know, it's just like the same thing. Hold high ground, take the fight. Yeah, and then it's kind of just, once you end up losing that, if you end up losing it, then it's just, you know, a stagger city fight, trying to get to point and then using that as cover. That's kind of all there is to it on Dorado defense. So yeah, hope it was helpful for you guys. If you aren't subscribed, please do that. Like and comment on the videos does help. Let me know what you liked about it. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching. And until the next video, peace.